So now we're going to talk about the NFL. The games were played this past weekend. They started on Thursday night, right after we left up out of here because we were talking boxing. So we didn't even get a chance to talk about what was coming up during the NFL week number 2. Now, what did happen in week number 2? Not a whole lot like week number 1. You had some more competitive games being played. We have a Hall of Famer in the making with Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. What's going on here? Get the hell out of here with him. Undefeated. I know it's 2-0, but this was the coach, Shane Steichen, who I thought would be the first gone. It looks like I should have stuck with McDaniels down in freaking Miami.
I don't know, man. Daniel Jones is like, maybe it's coaching.
It got to be something. Something's in the water. What the hell are they drinking in Indianapolis?
I don't know. Maybe somebody can get the inside scoop. Like, is he doing anything different from his time in New York? Or is it just coaching?
He probably has a better team because that New York Giants team is just not a good team. It wasn't last year. They're scoring at least this year, but there's still something special. In fact, they blew a game this past excuse me. They blew the game this past Sunday against the Dallas Cowboys, a game that looks like they could have really won. Russell Wilson looked really well in the beginning. Their running game was pretty solid in the beginning, but Dallas came back. And because of that, Dallas now has a win, and they just signed Jadeveon Clowney off the street, trying to get a pass rush because Micah Parsons is gone. Now, that's not going to work because it hasn't worked all his career.
It might be a slight improvement, but is he going to make an impact? But that last interception by Russell Wilson was terrible, man. He just threw it up.
That's what he did, like an amateur, like he hadn't been in the league forever.
Yeah, kind of like Caleb Williams.
You know, man, I saw that score yesterday.
Actually, Caleb Williams hasn't done that, but I was last week. I was this far away. Now I'm this far away.
Skin is almost touching, man. Yeah, skin is almost touching. You're holding the grain of salt. That's it. This is where it's at.
52 points. Come on, man. That's a pathetic effort.
But it is Detroit that does have an explosive offense. They've shown it last season. I still wasn't expecting Jared Goff, but I got to give credit where credit's due.
But you didn't watch the game like I did.
No, exactly.
I'm on St. Brown. You know, I've talked him up all last year. He's the only wide receiver I see that doesn't get shut down. He had 9 catches, 100-some yards, whatever, 3 touchdowns. And on 2 of the touchdowns, he wasn't covered. Like, who's their main guy? Why are you not going to cover their main guy? I don't get it, man. It was poor coaching. It was poor defensive play. Terrible, and they had more line issues, and first play out of the half, there's a false start. Like, you start your first drive in the second half, 1st and 15. And it's just
wasn't that last week with that offensive line?
I'm almost at a loss for words, man. I don't know. Caleb Williams, like I said, I'm this close to being done with him. And Ryan Poles, I'm on the Ryan Poles got to go. I'm there. Unfortunately, they re-signed him last year, but he's been the GM now, I think, 4 years, and we still have piss poor line play on both sides of the ball. Still have issues protecting the quarterback and have issues putting pressure on the opposing quarterback. I don't care if you got the greatest secondary of all time. You allow a guy to sit back there for 3-4 seconds, somebody's getting open.
Yep. Man, I tell you what, man, the Jets, damn. Last week they scored a lot of points, and I was like, you know what? Even though they lost, you don't look at it as a moral victory, but at least you say they can at least score. Now all the defense has to do is go back to doing what they were doing in 2023. Too much to ask for if you're a freaking Jets fan, and they lose 30-10, and Josh Allen just runs on them like a freaking fullback, and then he throws on them like a freaking quarterback. He just dominated the Jets. We had nothing, and then Justin Fields. Well, I see your problem, and I've seen it for a couple of years now with different teams. Man, I was hoping last week was somewhat of a precursor of him being able to run effectively.
It was the Bills, though.
It was the Bills, but still, it's a rivalry game because it's in the division. You know, it's in New York. Well, hell, actually, the Buffalo Bills, they're in New York. The Jets actually in Jersey. But I was expecting more, and to think that last week how Aaron Rodgers was able to light him up, and we see why he did it. I thought he came back, and you look at his numbers yesterday, he was absolutely awful. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, looking just like you looked last season. You just had your best game of the year for the Jets, and that might be your best game for the rest of the season, and just to beat the Jets. But the Jets just couldn't get anything going offensively. They didn't run the ball effectively other than Fields running the ball. But when you get a quarterback, even though he's a running quarterback like Lamar Jackson, or that's what you want, at least Lamar is not exclusively running. You still can see 41 touchdowns. You can see a lot of touchdowns being thrown. Someone who knows what he's looking at when he sees a defense and is able to make those throws. We're not getting that here. And you would think now in his 5th season, he would have that figured out. And he doesn't. And I'm hoping that it gets better. And it doesn't look like it. And now we're 0-2, and we had our first 2 games at home. Now what?
It's not looking good, bro. Not looking good.
No, actually, did we have that game at home yesterday? Last week? Let me see. Yeah, we did play the Steelers at home. Yep. Damn, look at that. It's just a mess, man. I'm like, it's not looking good for these damn Jets. And even though Aaron Glenn is one of these Jets legends, played for the Jets before, man, you get hired to get fired. That's pretty much what it is, unless you're just going to be one of these Andy Reid kind of coaches. And even he was fired in Philly, but he would never get fired in KC. This is going to be his last job, and that's good for him. But
this might be his last year.
It could be his last year, because could this be, as I said before the season started, could this be the beginning of the end because of the way the Super Bowl ended, could this be the beginning of the end of KC being the elite of the elite to just being a good team, which isn't bad, but it isn't the elite of the elite that almost guarantees you're going to be getting a bite at the apple for the Super Bowl every season? It looks like, you're just going to be in the playoffs like everybody else, and you might have a better chance, but you still might just lose.
The Chiefs have to make decisions. Do they wait for Worthy to come back? I don't know if is Rashee Rice even coming back, or is he done for the season? I'm not sure.
4 games, 5 games, something like that.
4 or 5 games. So are they playing to, let's just hold on to we get our offense back, or are they going to be 0-5? The trade deadline's coming up,
bro. And
who can they trade? They're not trading Mahomes.
Nope.
They're not going to get much for Kelsey. Do they trade Chris Jones? Try and get a haul back?
After Chris Jones talked to Jalen Hurts at the end of the game, you see that viral video? When he was talking that nonsense when they were doing the kneel down at the end of the game, he yelled at him about, man, you didn't even get 100 yards. And he was like, shut your ass up, man. We beat your ass. He said, Jalen Hurts told my man. I'm like, damn, man, that's a harsh one. The microphones picked it up, and they've been playing that joint like most of the day.
Nah, I didn't see it. But like,
it's out there, though.
With their roster the way it is, they've had to pay this guy and pay that guy.
Yeah.
They got to get rid of somebody and try and get draft picks, get earlier draft picks. You can't draft at the back of the first round 5-6 years in a row and keep up with the Joneses as far as roster. So they have to do something to infuse some youth into that roster.
If you're picking some of these early draft picks, those are premium picks. So you're going to give up a whole bunch. It's going to be it's not going to be addition by subtraction. It's going to be addition by subtracting a bunch of players from your team that probably helped you get to the Super Bowl. You're going to have to give up some named players or a lot of players to get those premium draft picks that's going to make a difference.
That's why I say Chris Jones.
Yeah, but damn. But who's in the draft going to replace Chris Jones? You need somebody who can replace him right now. You can't say we project him to be nice.
But if they're 0-5, they're not going to the playoffs.
Oh, no, they're not going to the playoffs.
Looking to the future.
But for them, it might just like, damn, we just had a bad hiccup. We should be back next year. And that's not going to happen, most likely.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They have to decide. Are they going to stick with it, or are they going to plan for the future?
Yeah.
Because I think the best, look at Belichick. As much as I think he's a cheater, he got rid of guys a year too soon.
Yeah, yep, just in time.
Even
Richard Seymour. Even Richard Seymour. I'm like, yo, bro, he traded Richard Seymour? Boom.
Right.
He didn't do much of anything with the Raiders, man. I'm like, bro, he just knows that he's like a matchmaker in boxing. He knows exactly when to hit these dudes. Get him out of there. But, man, the way the Chiefs have been playing, it was a tight game. It wasn't Kansas City. And damn, they lost the freaking game. That's all that matters. Regardless if it was about 1 point or 20 points, they
Like,
lost the damn game. They didn't
they're
want to lose.
champions, man. They're champions. They have a lot of pride. So I don't think they're gonna get their ass whipped like 40. They're not gonna be too many 42-10 games.
Nah, that's
so they can keep games close. You know, they're not gonna beat themselves. They're not gonna have stupid penalties. You know, Mahomes not gonna turn the ball over for the most part. Then that's another thing. If Kelsey holds on to that ball at the goal line, they get the lead. But instead it bounces on him and Philly gets the pick.
Yeah, he's too worried. He's worried about these damn winning plans, I guess, man. This guy's a different player now, I guess. I don't know. He lost a little bit of tenacity. Man, going down to...
I'm not going to blame that. He had a bunch of other catches. I know, I'm just saying.
But another game we could talk about is the Jaguars. You know, they were on the road yesterday. They were actually winning the game yesterday against Cincinnati on the road. Joe Burrow goes down in the game.
He's going to be out
for quite a bit of time, too.
He's having toe surgery.
He needs toe surgery, exactly.
That's
I look
crazy.
at the hit, and I'm like, what happened? It doesn't look like, well, one of these big dudes fall on your foot or whatever, or they might have stepped on the toe. I don't know. But I can't see how that kind of trauma happened to his toe based on what the video showed. But, you know, Jake Browning comes in, looks a bit sketchy in the beginning, and they went to coach and asking him questions. So how do you feel about Jake Browning, this and that? And he's trying to not say bad things because bad things are happening with Jake Browning out there. You know, we're just going to have to settle down and get him under control and come out with a game plan for him. The usual coach speak stuff. And he comes back in the second half and does exactly that. Trevor Lawrence, man, I don't think he's it.
Are you done with him?
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm almost done with him. And it's the posture, it's the people that he has around him that could allow him to make plays. Him taking forever to throw the ball and then still just throwing an intermediate pass when he should be opening up a little bit more. I'm like, man, I don't think he's the guy now. I mean, it seemed pretty apparent last week. He threw some yards with 271, but it was all right. But then this week,
maybe the Jags need to hire Dabo Sweeney.
Dabo Sweeney will be available soon as he keeps losing like this eclipse. He's 1-2. He's not even ranked in the top 25. He finally goes into the transfer portal, only gets 3 players. Bro, you got to go in. Like all of these other teams, all of your competition, all of your adversaries, they're going in to win. They're going in. Bill Belichick going in with 40 players. You got Deion Sanders years ago going with 80 players. You know, people going into the damn thing, going in it to really win. He just act like he's doing someone a favor. I got 3 out of there. And they hadn't helped your team. You're 1-2.
Yeah, it's not Death Valley anymore.
Oh, nah, we'll just leave that for LSU, and especially after what they had just done to Florida. Florida throwing 5 interceptions. DJ Lagley, 5 interceptions. Allegedly a Heisman Trophy candidate going into the season, even though that doesn't matter because he didn't play in spring practice, and then he doesn't go into forward drills and play until like the second week because of another injury. And now his pride is injured and damaged before they go to Miami on Saturday. 5 interceptions in the game. But God, man, Joe Burrow out again, injury plague, injury prone. What the hell is it? Now it's like back-to-back seasons of some kind of injury.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I thought the Ravens were snake bit. They're snake bit in the games. The Bengals are snake bit in terms of injuries.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And man, I don't know.
But getting back to the Bears, I don't know if you remember.
Mm-hmm.
I said that defense gave up 27 points to a guy playing in his first NFL game. 21 in the fourth quarter. What's going to happen when they play a real NFL quarterback with experience?
Well, we just saw that.
52 points is what fucking happens.
Damn.
That's why I'm done with Pose. There's glaring holes on the defensive line, man. Your linebackers, they're all right. They'll make a play once in a while, but there's no impact players. They're one blue chip. He got hurt. Jalen Johnson, he's like their only blue chip player. You know, everybody's talking about Montez Sweat. Montez Sweat ain't done shit in a year and a half.
Damn, man. I don't know what the deal is. I expected, even from afar, for Chicago to do more. I think they did. I thought they did enough. But you saw it more than I did.
Everybody did. And I told you I'm not drinking no Kool-Aid.
But the offensive line, because you just said all they did was just throw other just regular offensive linemen to replace the bad offensive linemen they had. You know, so.
You keep getting other teams cast-offs. You know, like I said, one dude was 33, the other one lost his starting job, and now they're starting for us.
But
we're supposed to be better. We're supposed to be better.
DeAndre Swift got some yards yesterday. Now they didn't have a running game last week. Didn't he run the ball effectively this week, or at least a little better? Or that was garbage time and they just let him get draws?
I don't think so.
Damn. So how did Caleb Williams look? I don't want to look at the box score and just assume he just only had one pick. How did he look doing what he was doing? Or was it a defensive thing? Because they did give up a whole lot of yards on the ground and over 300 yards in the air.
No, even when he completes passes, they're not accurate. He's hitting the guy off in the flat, and the guy's got to turn to catch it here.
Oh, all right.
So by the time he turns around, the defender's there, and he can't really make a move to juke him. Or if he hits him in stride, he sees him coming, he can make a move or put his shoulder down or whatever. It's not just missing receivers by 5 yards; it's ball placement.
Jeez. Because I know in the beginning of the game last week, he looked so damn good for that time that he was just consistent, hitting, showing that arm strength, everything. And then it all just changed a lot in the second half. And by the way, J.J. McCarthy may be out for this week's game with his knee sprain. No, ankle injury. Jaden Daniels has the knee sprain and might not play on Sunday.
Packers looking good, man.
Packers just rolling through, man. Just rolling through. But
that makes it worse for me. But here's the thing about Caleb. Because I know, like, you've seen players, and I say players, even though Caleb's a quarterback, who just exude leadership. You can just see it. I don't see no leadership qualities from Caleb Williams. I just don't.
See, you watch, like I say, man, you see him more than I do. And the time I did see him, I thought that, yelling at the lineman or at least going to the sidelines, looking like he's trying to lead.
Like there's some guys, when they speak like, hey, man, we need to get our shit together. I'm tired of this. Let's go. We got to play right. And everybody takes notice like, yeah, all right, they focus. Caleb Williams is more like, come on, guys, we're better than this. Come on. Can you block? Can you do this? Come on, man. Come on, let's go. You know what I mean? It's more like he's asking. He's not telling, and maybe he's still young. It's only second season, but
they know the leadership has.
But when Ray Lewis was in his second season, I'm pretty sure he was still the same guy. He still had the same mentality.
He still had that leadership. He had that alpha mentality.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't see those leadership qualities out of Caleb Williams.
Damn. I don't even know what to say, because I don't see him enough, but I saw enough of him last week, and then in the second half, I saw too much of him doing a lot of the wrong things. But Roman Duze, the leading receiver in the NFL right now, I think touchdown-wise, isn't he?
I'm not sure. He had 2 yesterday. I don't remember how many he had the other day.
Yeah, so, at least he's keeping up and keeping his name going as a young receiver. They're going to grow together if they stay together long enough to do even more things. Is it the offense or is it the defense?
That top 10 tight end they drafted, you want to know how many targets he got?
What?
0.
And why is that? He wasn't open? Or
I don't know.
See, because I know my man Ty Warren is getting his job done up there. He's catching balls, man. I think
I can't tell you, man. I don't know. They called a play-action bootleg, and when Caleb turned to roll out to the right, there's a defender coming at him. So that threw all the timing off. So I don't even know who that was. Maybe they designed that for Loveland. Maybe not. But Caleb had to dance around and find somebody. The play was blown up because I think they're asking, might have been the tight end to make that block, but whoever it was missed it. But even if that, let's say that even if that was set up for Loveland to run a crosser and get hit in the flat or whatever, that's still one target.
Yeah. Shoot.
I don't know why we draft the guy and we don't use him.
Don't use him. Use him early. You don't even have to use him often. Just use him early, just to get him used to being in the damn game, get him acclimated to the speed of the game. Just give him something to get excited about. And it doesn't look like they're going that way right now. As far as exciting teams go, I thought when Brock Purdy went out, San Francisco pretty much was done until he came back. And Mac Jones has an efficient game, but it was against the New Orleans Saints, and it was Spencer Rattler on the other side. But Spencer Rattler had a pretty damn good game, throwing 3 touchdowns. So he wasn't the reason why they lost based on the numbers. It's just that Mac Jones, he had one of his good games.
Just tread water till Brock comes back.
Exactly. But is this one of his good games because of the inconsistency, the good game today, the bad game next week? Is that what it's going to be? Or can he continue a pretty high level of play? But how high does the level have to be playing the New Orleans Saints with their situation at quarterback and with Derek Carr leaving so abruptly? Anyway, we're still talking about that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's different when DCs can game plan for you.
Yeah, that's true. Well, remember, there was the Carolina Panthers, another one of those teams. The Carolina Panthers playing against Arizona, going out west, losing again. But Bryce Young did throw for 3 touchdowns and an interception, but it seems like they just can't get out of their way. They're still losing games.
What's your boy Cam doing?
Cam Ward, they lost the game, but he's put up highlights, but he's doing a lot of the crap he did at Miami that I hope he doesn't do, but it looks good now because it's working at the time. He threw the ball completely from one side of the field to the other. They tell any NFL coach doesn't want that happening because there's just too many opportunities for things to go wrong. And he treated that joint like a fade pattern. He treated it like a fade. He threw it so far over and got the damn pick. Got the touchdown. And then there's another time he was about to run the ball. It was a small game. But as soon as he was about to fall, he just did one of those little flip passes that he did at Miami, and it was completed for like a good 3 yards or so. I'm like, oh, man, I hope it doesn't just go bad because those types of passes typically go to the defensive lineman who happens to be in the area, and then big ass is taken the other way. This just wasn't one of those times. Luckily, he can make a lot of mistakes now. He has room to do that as the number 1 pick overall, and this Tennessee Titans team at this moment isn't very good, so at least you could say he's your cornerstone player. He just has to gain the experience through fire, like a lot of these other young guys. Peyton Manning did the same thing, throwing a whole bunch of interceptions. A lot of these young quarterbacks got to go through it. I'm hoping that I didn't expect him to do very well based on what I saw at Miami, but I'm expecting him, I'm hoping that he does well because he's from Miami. And so far with the team that he has, he's doing as well as he's doing, as best as he can do at least. Some people call him Steve McNair number 2. Stop, man. Not yet. Not yet. Not at least in the NFL just yet. Just let him roll. Steve McNair, the first couple of games wasn't like that.
There's 2 Monday night games tonight.
Yeah.
What time does the second one start at your time?
Tampa Bay already started to play Houston. They're already up 14-10 in the second quarter.
Okay, but what time is the Raiders game?
The Raiders game is 10 o'clock my time.
See, that's crazy, man. I wasn't sure if it was 9 or 8 my time. Because if it's 9 here in Chicagoland, I know it's 10 on the East.
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock my time, 9 o'clock your time.
And, that's crazy. Who's going to stay up to watch that?
Those people on the West Coast, let them do it too. They're playing right in the same.
They're getting treated like a game between BYU and San Diego State.
And San Diego State from back in the days, man. Big John Walsh throwing the football and Marshall Faulk running the ball. That's what they had back in the day.
You got the late time slot.
Yeah, or even Hawaii when you have to stay at the 2 o'clock just to see the kickoff, let alone the whole game.
Yeah, screw that.
The halftime is pretty much your alarm clock. But yeah, the Raiders are playing in the same arena. The fight was just that this past Saturday, so they cleaned it up. Now the Raiders are in. And so far, based on the numbers, the Raiders are an underdog, but I expect the Chargers to play well anyway. But I still want to see Ashton Jeanty do something. I was
about to say, we'll see if your boy has a bounce. Well, it won't be a bounce back because that was his first game. If he has a breakout game.
Yeah, that's what we need, a breakout game for him at least. With that team, I just wish I wish he could go to any other team than the damn Raiders, man. After they did that, the damn Darren McFadden, man, I was like, damn, I don't want anyone to go to the Raiders trying to be a great running back. But
that's like the Bears. You don't want the quarterback to go to Chicago.
I mean, Jay Cutler, wasn't he pretty good in Chicago once he left Denver? I mean, he was good in Denver.
He was. Even Jay Cutler was disappointing, man. I think his first game, he had 3 interceptions.
Well, he ended up having diabetes, though, the diabetes that they found. I don't know how he went that long. He didn't have diabetes.
He did get us to the one NFC championship and then got hurt.
Well, I don't know what he's doing. I heard he had
he was better than Caleb Williams. I give him that.
No, he was
that's not saying much.
Bro, he was the kind of quarterback that you would expect to have gone to freaking Vanderbilt. You wouldn't expect that kind of quarterback to go to Vanderbilt. He had all the measurables, the strong arm. He was supposed to have been at a perennial power team in the SEC. He's supposed to have been one of those Auburn, Alabama, Florida kind of quarterbacks. Even freaking Arkansas, if they wanted to throw the ball around like they tried to do with Mitch Mustain. But he stayed at Vanderbilt, and I thought he had a good talent. But I heard the story about how he had diabetes, and that was a large reason for a lot of things, losing all the weight, feeling tired all the time. And that's how the story came up. I was like, dang, you went through all this college football and they couldn't figure it out. But hey, that's what ended up happening.
I think another issue is he didn't really love football. He was just good at it.
There are some people out there like that. Wasn't it Jake Locker was another player like that?
The Snake?
Jake Locker.
No, I'm thinking of
coming out of Washington State, coming out of Washington. I liked him, man. I thought he was going to be a good quarterback, and this dude was like, damn, just as good as I thought freaking Rick Meyer was going to be. But look what ended up happening, God. Well, and the Giants having trouble. I already talked about the Giants having trouble with the Dallas Cowboys in a game they probably could have won, and they blew it. Russell Wilson put up good numbers so we can stop hearing at least about Jackson Dart at the moment. And the Jaguars, again, they got rid of Tank Bigsby. They traded him off, and they decided to keep Bashul, that plays running back, Bashul Tatum. He's a pretty good player. I watched him at Virginia Tech, how he was a pain in the butt against Miami in particular. And then he also had the fastest 40 time at the combine, 4.32, this past 2025 combine. And you can see that explosiveness when he has the ball. Travis Etienne looking pretty damn good with that ball in his hand, whether he's catching out of the backfield or running between the tackles or even getting into the outside. They just blew the game yesterday, and I think Trevor Lawrence is just not going to be what I hoped that he would be. And I'm not going to say I'm glad the Jets didn't get him because we'd have been in the same spot with him or without him. So it doesn't matter. So let me see. The Cleveland Browns, Joe Flacco, to play against Baltimore. What difference did it make? 41-17. Like, who cares? The Who Cares Bowl. New England, the Dolphins are now 0-2. And McDaniel looked like he may just get fired. I heard about that press conference he had. You have people asking comments about, was he high or something during the press conference? I'm like, man, I don't know. I can't say it.
It's Tariq on the block.
You know what? With his issues he's been having off the field, I can only imagine what he's probably doing in the locker room and just haven't made the news
I see him getting cooked by girls and stuff.
Oh, see, he's a bro. If nothing else, get rid of that. Get rid of him for that. He's a scumbag. I mean, that's what he's been.
He's trying to, he'll be at a camp or whatever, and he's trying to play cornerback, and he's getting cooked. Like, bro, there might be a reason you're on the other side of the ball. Stay over there.
Yeah. In fact, then he said he actually hurt that girl afterwards. She was trying to sue him.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think they said she's tried to sue him afterwards because he did some play where he actually hurt her because he's trying to get revenge because people were laughing at him. I'm like, bro, seriously, this guy just has anger issues anyway. His history says it, and they continue to let him get away with it overall time after time. And it's not like we're making things up, man. These are the things that's making the headlines, and he's fighting against them, telling you that it's not happening, and it's still like the same story. His whole career seems like at some point or another, this has been an issue with him with women. He can't keep his hands off them, can't keep his feet off them. He just can't leave them alone. He just volatile around them. He might be one of those violent types after all.
Well, we're about to wrap this up, but I just thought of one thing. When I saw Angel Reese in Terrence Crawford's locker room, I was like, bro, you better not jinx him, bitch. You better not. I was like, get her out of there. Get her out of there. Get her away from Bud.
What the hell is he doing hanging out with her, man?
She came to visit.
What the hell is he doing hanging out with this chick?
I don't know, man.
He's got a wife, man. What the hell you need you in there for?
But, hey, I guess Bud's unjinxable. Props, Bud.
Apparently so, man.
Beat the Angel Reese jinx.
Oh, for real, man. But I'm just saying, this dude's a married dude. Why would she even be that disrespectful to come in his damn locker room? Knowing her image, even though she might not even be like that, but she has this provocative image that she seems like she created.
And she was dressed provocatively, too.
Huh? Oh,
and she was
all the time. If she could do that on the WNBA floor, she'd do that. Crazy ass chick.
But anyway, I'm glad because I would have definitely blamed her had he lost.
Oh, hell yeah, man. Forgot all about it too. Hell yeah, bring it up. I had a friend of mine who went to the fight. He called me up on Saturday morning and he says, yo, I'm heading out to Vegas. I'm going to the fight. Okay. And then he gets out there, he sends me a video of his seats because he's pretty close to the front. But now he's staying here, by the way. He just messaged me as well, like a little earlier yesterday. He's meeting Dana White tomorrow, Tuesday. So like, okay, so it was more than just a fight. I mean, of course, you want to see the fight. He's one of my guys, my UNF boxing guys. But he wanted to see the fight, and he has a meeting with Dana White as well, or a planned meeting, because just doesn't know how fluid those things are. Anyway, let's shut this down. He's by his own tribe, and the Sports Back Bros podcast is going to take some time off until the next episode. Until then, deuces. So much is happening.